So, hi everybody, and welcome to the PGE Drop and Give Me 10. This is our 11th Drop and Give Me 10, and you are here and on YouTube. This is number 11. I love it. So, the beautiful faces you see before you are our writers, actors, stage direction readers, and generally awesome people with the PGE. So we're so happy to have you guys here tonight. Woohoo! We're going to be doing this in 3 segments of 4 playwrights each. And if you do the math real quick, that's 12 playwrights, the most we've ever had at a drop. Yay! Woohoo! So if I could ask everybody but the writers to turn their cameras off, and we can just give some love to the writers real quick. Thank you, actors, for turning your cameras off. Appreciate you. We'll give you love. We'll get plenty of love for you guys later. Awesome. Yay. So hello, writers. Woohoo. We are going to be seeing so much loveliness from you guys tonight. These writers were given a challenge. They were assigned specific actors. They were given 10 days, and they had to include 5 things into the first 10 minutes of a new play. Yes. So this is not a 10-minute play. This is the first 10 minutes of a full-length play, and they had to include the following. And you will bear with me as I open up my screen and look at the things. So number 1, it must take place outside in a wide open space. Number 2, it must contain an adoption of some kind, either a person, place, pet, way of life, whatever they chose to interpret that as. Number 3, a childhood game must be played in the scene. Number 4, must include a flower or flowers. And number 5, a memory must be shared. They were also given specific actors who answered the question, what is your perfect spring day? So they were asked to include their actors' ideas into their plays for that. So it should be pretty fun. Normally at these events, we have a wide spread of food and we have lots of wine. So if you at home wanted to safely play your own drinking game of seeing when the writers incorporated those 5 things, maybe that could be something fun to do. Thank you for being with us. I know at the beginning it asked for a pay what you can to come here tonight. This is a fundraiser for the PGE, and 50% of the money we raise tonight will be going to the PGE for our programming, but 50% will be going to something really exciting and new, the PGE Home Fund, which is going to be helping our PGE members who are hit hardest financially in this time of COVID crisis. So anything else extra you want to donate for that fund, we are more than happy to get. If you want to give Mike Lesser a shout for that, he's more than happy to help you with that. Mike, did I leave?
Can we make some noise for Erin for being our host for tonight?
Woo!
You can come back.
Hi, I'm Erin. Formerly the Drop and Give Me 10 queen. I am the playwright who has done the most Drop and Give Me 10s, but there is an actor here who has acted in every single one of them. So also a shout out to Catherine Overfelt for having done all 11.
Everybody disappeared except for Catherine. Leave Catherine all alone on the screen. Everybody but Catherine. Everybody. Give her her crowning moment. This is the queen of the drop is
get this
Overfelt.
on YouTube.
She is joy, she is grace.
Yay, Kathy.
You could all come back. That was just a moment to give Catherine.
Just a moment. Just a little fun, because we all need a little fun in our lives right now. So like I said, we're going to see this in 3 segments of 4 playwrights each. Our first segment is right now at 7:15 after you make noise for our amazing essential workers. Shout out to my sister who's a nurse at a COVID-19 hospital. She's amazing. And then we'll come back for round 2 at 7:15. Round 3, we will come back at 8:15 and see our final 4 playwrights. Yes, I got those numbers right.
And just to give you a heads up, if you are watching on YouTube, it's our first time on YouTube. Yay, all you YouTubers that are out there watching us. We have the amazing Alex Castro, who will be in the first scene, so she will step away to be a brilliant actor. But then she will come back and be on there. So feel free to chat with her throughout. Tell the writers what you love about our scenes as they're watching. And that being said, Erin, should we start the first one?
I think we should. So I have the actors in the first piece and our lovely playwright. So up first is Bailey Schlickman. Thank you, Bailey. I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
It's okay.
All right, so we're about to read
Ashes, Ashes by Bailey Schlichtman. And here we go. Orange County, California, fall 2017. Prologue. Somewhere in their shared past, two sisters play Ring Around the Rosie. Star, who is younger, takes her sister Evelyn's hands. They spin around the open field, their off-key voices sounding off in unison.
Ring around the rosy.
A pocket full of posies.
Ashes, ashes.
We all fall down. That was fun.
Let's do it again.
The girls
Ring around the rosy.
A pocket full of posies.
Ashes, ashes.
We all fall down. That was fun.
Let's do it again. Ring around the rosy.
A pocket full of posies.
Ashes, ashes.
We all fall down. Ow! Oh! Ow.
That was fun.
I fell wrong. I think I twisted my ankle.
Let's do it again.
Star grabs her sister's hands and forces her to her feet.
Oh, I'm hurt. If I fall again, I think my foot will break off.
That won't happen. Just let's keep playing.
I can't.
You will. You'll like it too.
Star forces Evelyn to spin with her.
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Oh.
That was fun. Let's do it again.
Please don't make me. My ankle hurts so bad. My whole leg's gonna snap off.
That won't happen. Let's play again.
Please, no.
I'll tell Mom.
Don't tell Mom.
I'm telling Mom. She'll make you play with me.
No, we can do it again.
Evelyn gets up only for her ankle to buckle. She spills onto the ground.
You always ruin everything.
It's my ankle, please. It's not my fault.
Mommy! Mommy! Evie is being mean to me.
Don't tell Mom.
Star exits, leaving in search of her mother. Evelyn writhes on the ground.
Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom. Don't tell Mom. Don't leave.
The memory fades with the light. The lights go down. End of prologue. Scene 1. In the present, Evelyn and Star's mother has passed away. At the cemetery, an older Evelyn finds herself in the same place she ended up in the prologue, on the ground. She rocks herself back and forth, back and forth. She cradles herself in her arms, making her body as small and compressed as possible. This is how Star finds her. She enters timidly at first, emboldening with each step. She holds a bouquet of flowers in hand.
Found you.
Hey, sis.
You okay?
I just buried our mom.
Our mom.
Our mom. We just buried our mom. How's that okay?
You're right. None of this is okay. Why are we conditioned to ask if someone's okay? Is that like an American thing, like a politeness culture thing?
Oh, what?
It's just interesting. There's just like so much fine print that comes with being a good member of society. It's like, who decided that killing people was so bad? We're all just sort of agreed on that one. But why?
The hell does that mean?
You got the whole family to show up. I always forget how many cousins we have on her side.
It's a lot, too much.
At least now I know for sure all the Spanish courses I took in uni paid off. You should have seen the surprise on their faces when they realized that I knew what they were saying. And then I said it right back to them. It was awesome. Felt really, really good.
I bet it did.
It made me feel like, I don't know, like one of them, like part of La Familia. That means family, by the way.
Thanks, but I can figure that one out myself.
Motioning to the flowers.
Weren't you supposed to put those on the coffin?
It was beautiful. The whole thing was beautiful. You did a good job organizing it.
Wait, you think I did good? You actually approve?
Sure. The reception hall, the casket, the blow up pictures, the flower arrangements. It was appropriately sobering. It was nice.
Thanks. Really, thank you. It means
The only part that I didn't like was the wake. Like, why did we have to give her a wake?
because we're Catholic.
Only on holidays.
That's Catholic enough to count.
I don't get it. Mom never liked the church. Why didn't she just like give up on all that?
Habit and tradition. Her mom was a Catholic and her mom was a Catholic. Everyone she knew as a child was Catholic. Most of the Spanish speaking world is Catholic.
That's because most of the Spanish speaking world was colonized by Catholics. Like they shoved their God down the throats of our ancestors until they were too suffocated with our fathers and Hail Marys to be anything else.
Do you think you're funny?
Yeah, but I wasn't being funny.
Mom's dead and you want to make her funeral into a weird diaspora politics. You're so disrespectful.
What about respecting my beliefs?
Who gives a shit about your beliefs? It's mom's funeral. You can choose to not have a wake when you're dead.
I'm not Catholic. I think that that should count for something at the funeral for my mom.
That's the other thing. You are a Catholic. Once a Catholic, always a Catholic. You can't cut it out of your soul.
I don't think we have souls, at least not in any Christian sense.
I can convince myself the sky is purple. It doesn't mean it is. You have a soul, a Catholic soul. You're infected with it.
This is why I don't come down here. You're so nasty to me. It makes my skin crawl.
It's not me. It's the Catholicism. You're infected. You're oozing pus and rosary beads.
You should have consulted me more about planning the funeral. Then there wouldn't have been a wake and there wouldn't be a disagreement.
You're never here. Why should you have a say?
Because I'm her daughter. Don't you think it was rude excluding me? Didn't you think I would be just hurt a little bit?
No.
Are you kidding? It's real mature, Evie. Real mature.
You're the one who's complaining about mom having a wake because you think it's offensive to no one but you. Mom wanted a wake. That's it. End of story.
How do you know what mom wanted?
Because I lived with her, unlike you, who ran off the first chance she got. You went off to your fancy school in the Bay to get smart and learn Spanish and do whatever else made you feel good. But I stayed here with her, with our mother, who is now dead.
This is stupid. We can't get into a fight in a cemetery.
Suddenly so concerned for the dead. They can't hear you. They don't care. How are they supposed to without souls?
Not the living. It's the living ones I'm worried about. If you keep this up, you'll make a scene. I want people to think that I'm crazy.
No one is watching. They're too busy staring into their grief. No one in this graveyard is looking up. No one except us.
We shouldn't be fighting. Mom wouldn't have wanted that.
Actually, I think she would have been quite pleased.
Silence. Silence and wait. Star and Evelyn have nothing to say for a while.
I should have consulted you more with the planning.
I appreciate you saying that.
I'm not wrong about the wake.
You are wrong about me being Catholic.
God, I'm not wrong about the wake.
No, you're not. I don't know why that bothered me so much. She would have wanted it.
Maybe that's why. When do you leave again?
The lights go down. End of scene.
Congratulations, Bailey. Awesome. Thank you, Alexandra and Isabella Jane Schiller for reading. And one person you didn't see on that last one is one of our stage readers. Could we have all 4 of our stage direction readers? Can you guys turn your cameras on just so we can see you? 5 stage directions readers. See, counting. Yay! Well, there's one more.
We have the amazing Daniela Tome, Beth Devlin, David Michael Kirby, Tony Ortega, and John Wen.
Woo! John, your camera's not on yet, but we give you love. And so that was Daniela reading stage directions for our last piece. Thank you, stage directions readers. You are amazing.
Great job, Bailey, our new writer to the Playground Experiment, and welcome Isabella, new actor to the Playground Experiment.
Great job, everybody. So up next, we have the amazing, the fantastic, the wonderful Ben Dworkin. Woo! His first time writing for A Drop and Give Me 10. He has acted in them before. So Ben, if you could have
hey guys,
come up and introduce your actors and introduce your scene.
Okay, we have the amazing Caitlin Belforti as Mariah, and Elizabeth Jasicki as Lady Bronze. And this is a story that is dedicated to be a message of hope, but it's sort of a dystopian way of life, or magical. You'll see when you read it. You'll see when you hear it. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just so nervous. All right,
let's go.
David Kirby will be reading stage directions. Go, Kirby.
Got it. Untitled new play by Ben Dworkin. Character list: Mariah, a young girl very drained by her family's loss, slated to become a warrior. Lady Bronze, a female warrior sent from another planet to mentor Mariah. Lights up. Mariah, a young girl, 16, is playing hopscotch in a wide open basketball court. It is literally a gloomy day and could rain at any moment. No one is in sight. She begins to feel a little sad as she continues to play. Lady Bronze, a female warrior, enters and Mariah suddenly notices.
My child, my dear child, what are you doing?
Oh, just playing.
Playing? Just playing? You really should come inside and eat.
How can I eat? There's hardly any food left on this earth.
Well, there's plenty to last for months. Don't be down.
We just got hit by a nasty contagion. Nothing is like it was.
Of course, nothing is like it was.
Exactly.
Mariah picks up the flowers near her.
Who are you anyway?
They call me Bronze.
Bronze? What kind of a name is that?
I'm just a fighter.
So, what are you doing on my wasteland?
I'm here to teach you something.
And what is that exactly?
Something you haven't learned in a long time.
Really? What's there left to learn? All that I know is gone.
Mariah picks up more flowers.
Here I am picking flowers, not knowing if my life will ever go back to normal.
If it helps, I can tell you I went through the same thing when I was a child.
How?
Here, let me have some of those flowers.
Mariah hands Lady Bronze the flowers as they walk over to a nearby bench.
Have a seat, my love.
They both sit.
Now, you say you have lost everything, right?
Yes. Unless you can say something that'll clear me of my worries.
I will, but you need to listen as this will help you.
I'm all ears.
Good. When I was a little girl, I liked hopscotch too.
Really?
I played it all the time when I was an earthling. But a blazing fire that the inferior soldiers blew upon us. My wasteland was all that I had. Everything else was gone. I was just like you.
Interesting.
There's more. I was rescued and taken to another distant colony planet where the most suffering can never die. The people on that planet saw my true warrior gene in me. They made me one of the fierce to protect the planet.
Very nice.
Are you saying that meaning?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you just don't want to listen.
What makes you think that?
You didn't gauge your interest.
Right, I get it, but I still don't understand what you're trying to teach me.
I am here to teach you that there is an escape.
Really?
Yes, a new way of life. That is what I want to give to you.
I'd like to believe you, but you're going to have to do something better than that.
Do I, fair child? Perhaps I can play a little game with you.
Of what? Hopscotch? Because this is a game that is skillfully played.
Perhaps I can try a little bit.
Okay. If it'll make me feel better, since, I know the world is falling apart.
Thank you, Mariah.
You know my name, too. That's great.
I see you. I see all. Now, let's play.
Lady Bronze stands behind Mariah and she begins to play hopscotch while Lady Bronze observes. She then drops the flower on the diagram.
What are you doing?
Challenging you to adapt to this new way of life.
Mariah continues to play.
Why do you like flowers?
I don't.
Oh, but I know you used to.
Okay.
Mariah stops playing.
Flowers are usually a trigger. My family and I planted flowers every day.
Great minds think alike.
I can sense that.
There are other things I can show you too.
Like what?
Oh, we are just getting started.
End of scene.
Woo! Wow. More. I didn't want it to be over. That's why I was like, wait, no, don't say end of scene, David Michael Kirby. So congratulations, Liz, Caitlin, David, Ben. Great work, guys. And last but certainly not least, and rounding us out for this first go round, the inevitable, the amazing, all the words that I can't say right now because I've got quarantine brain. Kirsten Hopkins, take it away.
Thank you, Erin. The inevitable. We are definitely going to go because it's already past 10 minutes. So I'm sorry. The end of our scene is going to be cheers for all of New Yorker, but New Yorker essential workers. We're going to try to get going as fast as we can. Now, I want to introduce my actors. Are you here, actors? I have Beth Devlin on stage directions. I have Jenny Green, Michelle Persoff, and Justin Lopez are my actors. You will find out who they are very soon. And I think that's all I'm going to say about it. Take it away, Beth.
Honeybees by Kirsten Hopkins. A field of flowers. Upstage center, a giant solitary tree stump, the hive. A muffled buzzing can be heard coming from within. Directly downstage of the tree stump, a giant flower covers much of the stage. On top of the flower, worker bee stands guard in front of the stump. A bee covered in pollen enters. Worker bee stands at attention, puts out her hand to halt the pollen-covered bee. Then the two suddenly engage in an elaborate game of pat a cake. They've done this before.
My pollen has a first name, P-O-L-L-E-N. My pollen has a second name, P-O-L-L-E-N. I got it from my queen. I got it from my hive. I got it from my honey so that we could stay alive. Yeah.
Worker stands to the side to allow the pollen-covered bee to enter the hive.
You may enter.
After a few moments, another pollen-covered bee enters. Again, worker puts out her hand as if to say halt before they start a different pat-a-cake pattern.
Let's get the rhythm of the wings. Let's get the rhythm of the wings. Let's get the rhythm of the stinger. Let's get the rhythm of the stinger. The flowers to the south are the very best, and I sprinkled in some nectar from the flowers in the west. Put it all together, and what do you got? Stinger, nectar. Well done, sister, you may enter.
Worker again stands aside to allow the pollen-covered bee to enter the hive. Drone enters. Worker puts out her hand to halt him and is taken by surprise when instead of a familiar pat a cake game, he takes her hands and starts dancing the jitterbug.
This is an unfamiliar dance. You are not from our hive, or from any of our neighboring hives. Who are you and why are you here?
I was known in my hive as Drone 106. I come with a message for your queen.
That dance was not on my pre-approved list. If you are here to mate with our queen, you'll need to leave your application on the third flower to your right.
No, I'm not here for that. My hive has been destroyed. The few of us that survived pledged to spread the news to all the other hives we could reach.
The news of what? Your hive being destroyed? I'm sorry for your loss, but why should my queen be bothered with news of your hive?
Because your hive is in danger too.
At that moment, a loud buzzing can be heard, getting louder and louder until it eventually becomes the sound of a helicopter landing as the queen bee descends from above. She is enormous and towers over the other two when she lands on the flower. Drone and worker both kneel as she enters. Once the queen has completely landed, the buzzing, chopping sound stops.
Ta-da! You may rise.
Your Majesty, forgive me. I did not know you were arriving. I would have cleared the flower for you had I known. I thought you were scheduled to be in the drone congregation area for several more hours.
Well, that was the schedule, but I decided to take a cheeky little break. Do you know what I've been doing for the past 7 days? Sex, 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 sex. Just one drone after the other. Do you know how exhausting that is?
Yes, Your Majesty, I do.
You do? I'm sorry, my darling, but aren't you sterile?
Oh, yes, of course. It is true. I do not know how exhausting it is to have sex, let alone have sex with multiple partners while in flight. But if you will pardon me, Your Majesty, one of my first duties as a worker was to remove the bodies of the drones after you had sex with them.
Oh, I remember you now. Worker 42. She was the hardest working worker during the early part of my reign. Why, I have a vivid memory of her working on my first day of having sex. You know, presentation of the Virgin Queen and all that. She was dutifully and without complaint removing one endophallus after another from my vagina. That first day, every single drone I had sex with just left his penis inside me. Oh, you know, since then, I have encountered a few special drones who can survive having sex with me. But that first day, no one could contain themselves, literally. They all ruptured their abdomens. Speaking of, I can see by your gorgeous, gigantic, wraparound compound eyes that you are a drone too. Are you waiting for me?
Your Majesty, this drone has not been approved through the proper channels yet.
I didn't actually come here to have sex with you, Your Majesty. I came with a message.
A message?
Your Majesty, I'm so sorry for this insubordination. Please, if you will just go inside the hive, I will take care of this intruder.
Well, I don't mean to intrude. I only mean to spread a message of warning.
That is enough out of you, drone.
Please, Your Majesty, you must listen to what I have to say.
Pheromones! That's better, thank you. Now, do you know how much sperm is currently sloshing around inside me right now? Do you know how many eggs I have to lay in the morning? I think I deserve a teensy-weensy break from all of this chaos. And I would like for just one bee to speak at a time from now on. All right? Very good. Now, drone. You say you come here not to have sex with me, but to bestow upon me a message. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Of course, you must mean that after you give me the message, then you will want to give your life to have sex with me. Correct?
No. I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
You don't want to have sex with me at all?
Forgive me, Your Majesty, but no.
Well, but why not?
I don't know exactly how to explain it, Your Majesty, but I feel it is my duty to spread the message of the oncoming storm. I believe the survival of all bees is at stake.
Oh, well, That does sound dire. And I know we should hear more about this oncoming storm, as you say. But I can't quite release the very strange and very hard to believe fact, as you say, that you don't want to have sex with me. I am a queen. You are a drone. What's the problem?
I don't think I am a drone anymore, Your Majesty.
Well, you're certainly not a worker or a queen. I could crush you between my two weakest legs if I wanted. And Worker 42 here could give you a fatal blow with her stinger if she wished. Could you not, Worker?
Indeed, Your Majesty, if you wished it, I would gladly give my life to protect you. And of course, you know that I would have to die in order to deliver my sting, but I do not think this drone, or non-drone, is a threat to you, Your Majesty.
Well, I never said he was a threat. He's just annoying me.
If you please, Your Majesty, there is a very real threat out there, and I really feel that you must...
Pheromones! 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 Thank you.
If I may, Your Majesty.
Oh, very well. What is it?
He said he felt it was his duty to tell us this message. That is something I understand, feeling duty-bound, being called to a higher service. After I completed my work of removing the leftover male body parts from your body and disposing of their remains, I then spent many days in the hive doing the work of sucking the nectar directly out of my sister's mouths and then chewing that nectar nonstop for 30 minutes before spitting it into another sister's mouth and starting the whole process over again with another sister. Then at the end of that very long day, we would spend hours more just beating our wings to produce wind to evaporate the water from the nectar to, of course, as you know, ultimately turn it into honey. Then after I completed that duty, I spent many days out in the field collecting nectar and pollen, and after many long, grueling hours in the sun, weighed down by all the sugar and protein I was collecting, I would return every evening to the hive only to regurgitate that nectar into a younger sister's mouth, just as my older sisters had done with me, and then I would also be called on to help feed the younger ones still in their larval stages, and of course you must know, as queen, that I, as worker, have not slept since I myself was a larva, and then oftentimes I would get called back to help you remove yet another ruptured penis from your queenly vagina, and once again I would cleanly and efficiently remove from the hive all the many dead males that you had mated with that day, and did I say I have not slept at all in a very long time, and then I was promoted to guard duty, thank you very much. And yet still, even then, many times I would be called on to help my sisters with the very many other duties that go into maintaining this hive. And I understand what it is to have duty, is what I'm saying. I think we should give him a chance to tell us his story. If there is something that happened to him, to his hive, that was so horrific that he lost his desire to mate with someone as magnificent as you, maybe it is worth hearing what he has to say.
Well, good point. A little long-winded, perhaps, but you came around to it in the end. All right, you, tell us your tale.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
But first, you will tell me, if you're not a drone anymore, what are you? Well, you don't want to be a worker, do you? I can't understand someone who would give up, well, me, in order to live a sterile life and do all the things that workers do. What are you?
I'm not a drone, but I'm not a worker either. I think I'm something new.
Something new?
There were only a few of us that survived the disaster that befell my hive. Those of us that remained, we knew we couldn't go on the way we had before. We had to adopt new ways in order for Be Kind to ultimately survive. I chose to spread the message of what happened. So I guess you could call me messenger? Maybe that's my new role.
Oh, I don't like this. But fine, messenger, give us your message.
End of scene.
Yay. No, you can't end it there, Kirsten. That's so mean.
Everybody
for doing such a great job with that. Thank you so much.
Great job. Everybody quickly come back in. And even though it's a little after 7, I think we should still scream for our own essential workers and everybody just scream it out.
Yeah.
Bravo!
Bravo.
Thank you.
And thank you, our first 4 playwrights. That was amazing. All of them. So different, so cool, so fun. Did you find all 5 of them in those plays? I think I found all 5 in each of them. So please join us back here in 11 minutes. We will be back on Facebook Live in 11 minutes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, our playwrights. You guys
See you in a few minutes. Come back for part 2 in 11 minutes.